Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yes, I understand now. Garry Clarke is my name. I generally write a few things on the web about the Who's during the day in Sydney. As you can see, I'm doing a video now. The track today was given out slow, was updated to dead after about race 5 or 6. The rail was at 5 metres from 1,000 a post. It was 3 metres remainder. The wind was a light nor'wester. The track played fair. You could lead on the fence or you could swoop with pace. Pace was the key. Of course, the faster they went, the easier it was to swoop. First winner was Savannah Ray. It went straight to the lead, which was predicted by map players, and $6 was given about this runner on the fence, and I marked it 4-1. I won something on the race. I only started $5. Pros did take the $6 and the $5.50. The screen and the flux all day were very skinny. 105.7 on the screen. Bookies only gave you at 97% in this race. The opening favourite, Hendrickus, opened $3.50, quickly got to $4, and I did bet one of the pros 6,000 to 2,000. It got into 380, but it did run $4.40 on my board. You wouldn't see it in the flux, but $7 was given about number 3 Flying Zero in the outside ring. Started 5.50 after opening at 4.20. The other one in the market was Sindar and trained locally. Opened $4, out to 4.60, back into 4, and the winner was by far the best run. Hendrickus was very disappointing, and even though a little bit of use was made of it, and the jockey was concerned with this action, don't think it's much good, and neither Sindar. So the winner there was by far the best run and well backed. Second race, bookies gave 98% here. Screen at top flux at 104.8. Rampaging opened the favourite, but bookies were very keen to lay it. Opened 3.50, got to $6 on one board on the fence, plenty of $5.50. I laid 4,000 or 1,000 at one stage. It started $4.20. It sat outside the lead, and it was gone turning. Didn't get beat that far, but was never going to win from that point. The second horse would have been a great result for me, Windswept. The horse that beat it Canterbury, Tax Me If You Can, it beat it today. Tax Me If You Can was in front of Windswept, turning for home. He couldn't run Tax Me If You Can down, who's trained on the track by Greg Hickman. Was very well backed. The pros also backed it. Asked me whatever I wanted it early in betting at $9. Let them on to win 3. Then I laid it at $8.50 and 8. It touched. It only started $7, and it beat Windswept, who was opened up $4 and got out to $5.50. Very hard to lay, and as I said, it was an easy way for me. The other runner that was that was in the market, but I haven't cracked it for a bet, was Clever Boy. Opened $6.50, $7 maybe, but got out to $9, and I couldn't lay it. I laid a couple of the roughies for small section, but the winner was very well backed. Another runner in the market was Turnley. They did take $8.50 at one stage, but it did start that price. I finished up losing something on the race. Race 3, the screen said 107.6. It was a skinny 101 with plenty of runners unlayable. Picton, the top weight, got from $8 out to $14 given by myself. Started 13, later or something. Alcancia, they did take $8.50 at one stage, did start that price. Misspoken, it was backed early, but then got back out to $14. Houston Benefactor never had a name, same as our girl Charlize. Project Compassion, they did take $13, started 12, they only opened 8. It sat one out, one back, and would have been a great result for me. This was this winner and favourite, Barramilla. It was extremely well backed. I gave $2.70, which was given on the fence, for a good bit of section actually at $2.70 and $2.60, but at $2.50, all the damage was done, and it was the difference between me winning and losing on the day. The biggest bet I bet against it was 6,000 to 4,000, but 1,500 or 1,000 a few times, and I think 1,500 on it at 6 to 4. The 4 runners below it, or one of them was backed, Arrowette. One of the pros backed to win 10,000 was mid $18. I didn't really like it. And Trixie, it was always firm in the market. It opened up $11, got out to 13 take and started 12. Missed the kick slightly and settled well back in the field, made up plenty of ground in the straight, and he got beat a length. The favourite was only won by 0.1 of a length from 0.1 of a length from Project Compassion. It was perfectly ridden by Huey, the favourite. He sat midfield on the fence, easing off their heels, turning for home, and he got a middle split in between Kohenga, who sat outside the leader, and the second horse, and Huey showed plenty of vigour to get it home by that small margin. I got stripped on that race. Now race 4, Laurie Ray, this 3 kilo apprentice, she drew barrier 1 and sat straight behind the favourite, although it didn't start favourite, Sour Mash. It didn't start favourite, opened clear favourite. It was a designated leader, went straight to the lead from barrier 4. And as I said, Mr. Tipsy sat straight behind it from barrier 1. And when they turned for home, she was able to get inside the favourite, Corey, easing off the fence a bit, instructed by Waller to look for better ground. He didn't get far off the fence, but enough for Mr. Tipsy to get through and win by 0.4 of a length. They got beat the others easy, although Peck, who was extremely well back, $4.60 out to $5, back into $4.20, started favourite. Ran into plenty of trouble in the race, was dragged back behind a couple of runners at one stage, then copped a Pratt turning for home. Got beat 3.9 running third, but it's one of those horses, things are going to go its way. A visitor from Melbourne, Urban Explorer, it sat one out, one back, had every possible chance. It opened up $4.60 and got out to $5.50. I haven't really laid it, and it dropped off. It ran second last, beaten 16.5. It'll be going for a spell now. I won something on the race, but the favourite, Sour Mash, it never had a price. Opened $3 and got out to $4.60, and just eased the entire betting of the race. Race 5, the screen was 100.6, very skinny. Bookies, if you shopped around, you could have got 95% of this race, 95%. There was a big plonk in this race, trained on the track by Joe Pride, Zigzag. $21 was given, did start $6.50. There wasn't one board on the ground, you could get $7 when they jumped. They took the 21 early, and the 19 and the 18, bit of a lull, and then they cut into the 17, the 16, the 15, the 14, another bit of a lull, and then the 12, 11 and 10, a little bit of a lull, and then the 9, and then the 8. Well, it was all over, wasn't it, the 8? But then they took the 8 and, believe it or not, took the 7. It would have taken plenty of section out of the ring. They backed it for plenty. It was held up at one stage, vets checked it after the race. Everything was okay with it. Seemed a little bit short to me, but anyway, it's easy now. Now the numbers 1 and 2 in this race, they got number 1, Freedman's horse. It was unlabelled in the ring from $10 out to $16. It fortunately was just eased out of the race, beaten 36.6 lengths. We won't see it back at the track anymore. It's been retired. And the same with We Betcha. It was $10 out to 15. It was beaten 48.7. Nippy Nasty just eased it out of the race. He thought there was something wrong with it. Well, it had a bit of a heart problem, and it'll be retired as well. The favourite in this race was Happy Huzzy. Happy Huzzy, it opened 5 to 2, 350, and bookies were keen to lay it. Got out to $5, easy to get at one stage. Into $4.40, one of the pros backed it to win 5,000 with me at $4.60. Started for that price, $4.60. Did touch $4.40 at one stage. Other runners in the market that were, the only other runner was really liable was Del Zero. Was 650 out to 7, only started 9 to 2. And other runners in the market like Fashion, it was 650 out to 850. Very hard to lay. And Radar, similar. It was $4.60 out to $6.50. And I never really cracked it for much section out of either of them. The figures were hopeless. I just can't work out how it gets to so skinny, but I think I might have said before that a lot of times when you're sitting there when there are no figures in the race, the punters don't know and the bookies don't know. And as it turned out, this was the case in this race. Spinwich, who I've always had a bit of an opinion of, has changed stables from Denise McGrath to locally trained by Mr. J.M. Austin, ridden by Blake Shin. He sat handy from barrier 2 and about 5th posse, and it won very easily, by 2 1/4 lengths. This trainer's improved this horse. Did run 3rd in the Adrian Knox. I originally marked at 25 with a bit of a query and got it out to, I marked it, finished up marking it 50 to 1 with queries, but it was unlabelled and it was a skinner for bookies, a skinner for the books. Race 6, the screen said a very skinny 100.7, and the screen fluctuation board was right on the mark. That was about it. It was about 100% given. Runners unlayable were King Lionheart, $8 out to $12. The horse to finish up starting favourite, which was my worst way, was Starts Me Up, down from Queensland, trained by Heinrich, Mrs. Heinrich. Opened 460, was there for a good while, the betting, but the pros stepped in and took the 460, 440 and the $4, started $3.80, and the opening favourite, See the World, opened $3, but bookies were keen to lay it. Got to $4, back into $3.80, but it started $4 on my board, but it turned out a winner for me, whereas the winner, Irish Dream, one of our clever pros, he had a nice little slice of this. It was $19 into $15 taken at one stage, and 19, 18, 17 and 16, there was a good bit of section plucked out of the ring. The runners underneath it, the 4 runners underneath it, I haven't really cracked it. 15 carat at $70 to $1, cracked it for something. Runners like Tromso, well, it was $10 to $15, it didn't have a price. Leprechaun, $12 out to 16, unlabelled. And Embark, who I marked 10 to 1. I marked it 10 to 1, didn't like it at all, thought I might have been able to lay it. Opened $7 but started $11, and I couldn't crack it, and the figures were skinny. race 7, um, race 7 was won by the horse who went straight to the lead, so Kinthos Imprints. When it got the lead ridden by Laurie Ray, giving her a double, she was able to get away with a very easy sectional, and this one of the race. Sitting on its outside was Cup of Tea, ridden by Nippy Nash, who was going to be ridden back. When the pace was slow, he just slid up outside her, and it dropped out on the turn. I couldn't lay it. I didn't really like it. I marked it 13-2, which has started on my board, $7.50. It opened $6 and got out to that price. Cornwall Park would have been a good result for bookies, although $15 was taken at one stage, but it did stay at that price. The opening favourite, Ebony Rock, went from $3.50 out to $4.60. I did lay it for something. It started second pick, and the opening second favourite, Think Mink, was $4.60 into $3.80 at one stage, but did start $4. Both of them settled well back. Well, no, I want to talk about Think Mink. It ran fifth, beaten about 4.2 lengths. It was a bit disappointing. Ebony Rock made up plenty of ground, along with Cornwall Park. They sat back in third and fourth last position. The margins were 0.1 by 0.9, but Top Fluck was 104.2. If you shopped around, you could have got 98%. Another race, not worth a caser. Not worth a caser. The winner at one stage, well, not at one stage, it was more or less the first runner they backed. It opened up $6.50, got to $7.50, into $6. Couldn't get $6.50 at one stage. I did see when they jumped, $8 on one board, $7.50, plenty of it. Come the last, the figures were no good here at all. The screen said 105.1. Bookies gave 95%. Hurrah! I stood it for a bit of money. I didn't want to miss it. I bet $14, but it did start $10 on my board. Second horse, would have been a skinner for me, although it was back by window. It was $21 into 18. Mount Verdi was 20 to 40. Do You Think didn't have a price, $8 out to 15. Turf Hero, stablemate of Bay Window, sat midfield on the fence, wanted to lay out all the way, wasn't fully tested. The jockey said it wasn't happy with his action. All About Glory, and Turf Hero got out in the market, opened $4, was $6 begging to finish. I never laid it. All About Glory, at one stage, I laid it to the pros for a good bit of money. They took 15 and 14 off me. It started 13. Now the favourite Gasquet, it was taken straight to the front and finished up running last, beaten 5.7 lengths. Corey Brown said that it was very stirred up going around the barrier, and when he got to the barrier, was stirred up again. The vet ran his hand over it, couldn't find anything wrong with it, but it's going for a spell now. I must admit, I did stand it. It was my Blanc worst way. It did start favourite at $3.30 on my board. It opened $3, got out to $3.80 at one stage, and as I said, led. But the form around it, I thought, was a bit climber. The horse had beat it. Gosford, I've got no rap on it, and in that race, the horse had finished up running third. Bluey's Way was resuming from a spell that day and had a change of stable. Came from second last, was only beaten 1 1/4 lengths. Thought the form wasn't that flash. It gave in pretty easily, turning for home, as I say, it ran last. The winner, Ernest, well, this is a horse who Christian Reith has been beaten on before. Today, he just sat on it. He said it had the hood on for the first time. He said, I'm not going to go for you, not going to go for you. It was always on the bit. After they got past the 200 metre mark, when he had to go for it, it got a length clear and to finish up winning by half a length. And it got a soft run in between runners coming to the turn. There was a bit of money for Tarabanda in that race, over $9, got out to 11, back into 10, hard to get to the finish. And as I say, the figures were hopeless, 95. You've got to take enormous risks, and the game's getting tougher and tougher every day. This week, Canterbury's on Wednesday, and the meeting at Wyong has been transferred to, believe it or not, Scone. There are no Sydney bookies going up there. You just can't do it. I'm not going to Scone. There'll be no one there. I don't think they want bookies coming to the track. I think they want these mechanical machines on the track so people can bet on the robots or something. Fancy moving the Wyong meeting to Scone. What a joke. All right, well, I'll talk to you after the Canterbury meeting next Wednesday. Good evening.